What is up, everyone? It is me, your favorite actor, Marc Chouen, here for another episode of Shot of Wrestling, the Thanksgiving edition. Now, many of you may be at home slicing up your turkeys and whatnot, but I have here a guest today who is known for slicing a wrestler's arm. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Tarzanian Devil himself, Tarzan Duran. What's up, my man?
Oh, woo! Feeling good today, man. How you doing?
Love the energy. Love the energy. I'm definitely feeling that, dude.
Awesome, awesome.
Listen, man, let's hop into that, man. Like I saw the footage. It went viral. You legit you told me like you stabbed someone. You were slicing. That thing was going in. I gagged.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that freaked out like the whole wrestling world, man. Like everybody from like deathmatch wrestling to like the guys in GCW, like everybody, man. Everybody was talking about that. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like they actually went that far. And like JJ Escobar is known for doing all these crazy ass, sick, amazing stunts. Like fucking blowing up his nuts with fireworks and getting his stuff lit on fire and hit with weed whackers and all these crazy things. So people saw me and JJ do that. They were just fucking mind blown. So yeah, that was
Like,
awesome.
and like it's not even like you just did it in the ring or whatever, or there was like a camera cut or whatever. Like no, you were there, front row. Like someone definitely got blood splatter on them. They were definitely in the splash zone. You're like in the front row of the audience there, doing it, and the camera zoomed in on that motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That was so the viral clip is actually from a fan cam. So I tried to let the camera guys know that I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna put him on a thing. I'm gonna cut him with this knife and shit. And I try to let them all know, but I guess they just couldn't get the best angle of it. But luckily that one guy in the front row caught it fucking perfectly.
So, dude, like, I mean, I have to ask, like, like, how does this conversation go beforehand? When you're telling people, you talk to a promoter that you're going to do this? Do you tell the camera people, like, what are their reactions to this? Hell, what's JJ Escobar's reaction to this?
Dude, JJ Escobar, man, people will take like a drill gun or whatever. They'll like pinch his skin, fucking like put him onto boards and all these different things, man. Like he does so much just crazy, insane things. I mean, like the barbed wire trampolines and jumping off of houses. Like, I don't think it phased him too much. All the
Only
crazy.
wrestling.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I actually so I only do deathmatch wrestling about once a month. Um and a lot of people know I worked for like XPW, GCW. And yeah, there's been like a couple like the POR wrestling. And the past few months I've been working for CZW, and I just did their tournament of death where I wrestled the legend Madman Pondo, who's also, he's also normally a big part of JCW, but he's over in Japan right now with his girlfriend. He's having a good time. So, mad respects, mad respects. But on December 21st, I'm actually going to be wrestling. I can't even say the match yet because they didn't fucking drop it.
Oh,
But whatever, I want to be in the Cage of Death, which is going to be awesome, or at least the Cage of Death show. So that's like a big CCW show. CCW is what really brought the crazy deathmatch wrestling to light after like ECW kind of died. And of course there's also XPW. But like CCW like really like picked up the ball. And yeah, so we're the past, I don't know, maybe like half decade, their craziness hasn't been all through the roof. So I'm there now the past few months, and I'm trying to, bring CZW back up to that hype of absolutely dog shit crazy.
you're doing so in a crazy ass way, man.
Thank
So
you.
what? I have so many questions because like deathmatch wrestling, this is what makes wrestling so unique because there are just so many different facets of wrestling for different
Yeah.
type of audiences. There are definitely audiences that obviously are like head over heels about deathmatch wrestling. Then you have the other half that are more traditionalists. They just don't understand it. What would you say to those who just completely don't understand deathmatch wrestling? Like why and how do you get involved?
When I first started, I do more of like the hardcore stuff. I would see like Balls Mahoney a lot, New Jack, like the Sandman. I'd see a lot of these guys in person all the time. So, of course, when you're like a kid, it's like, holy shit, all this hardcore stuff. So, from like 14, 15, I was doing all that. And then at 16, I started doing professional wrestling. And actually, just from people in the business talking bad about it, I started like staying away from it. Every now and then I'd use chairs or like whatever, simple hardcore shit, but I wouldn't go into really like the deathmatch stuff and like bleeding too much and glass and whatever. And then I guess like since COVID, I think like right after, let's just say right after the restrictions ended, like the wrestlers got together, I think in Jersey, and that's where I met, I think like JJ Escobar, like the POR guys, a couple other groups. And I ended up, so I did this one show. I think it was at Big Vin's house, and from there I started, working a lot more with these guys. And just like every show, I'm just like, no, fuck it, man. People are not going to expect me to do some crazy shit with a light tube or whatever, because I've been like avoiding it those first few shows I did with all them. And then I'm just like, fuck it, man. So like at POR the past like 3 years I've been there. I just started going ham with shit. And you can like, oh, you probably can't see like too much, but like there's
I've
guys
seen
that
a
are
little
so
bit,
much
yeah.
more scarred up than I am. Like what I got really isn't much right now. But for me, it's just like I want to earn that respect in the deathmatch community. Um, because of the past 3 years of me doing deathmatch, some people think that I'm just a deathmatch guy,
But you're
and they
not
don't.
though.
Yeah, they don't understand that I've been, or a lot of people don't know I've been doing this professionally for 18 years. Um, I started off the traditional old school style. A lot of chain wrestling, whatever, things on the fly, technical stuff. And then about 6 years in, I started doing a lot more lucha libre, and I really fell in love with like the lucha. And I still love lucha. I love doing lucha.
But do you feel like though that like, because obviously you've trained different styles, more traditionalist, lucha libre, with the death match. Do you feel like doing more of these deathmatch wrestling type of matches take years off your career?
Nah, not at all. I mean, shit, if anything, it's like easier. I
Really?
mean,
Go
shit.
on.
Well, doing all the lucha stuff, that you gotta be like really on point, and you gotta have somebody that you really trust to be able to do all these crazy fucking things. With deathmatch wrestling, well, all right, so because lucha, you gotta be like so on point and do all these crazy shit, you're more likely to tweak something, like
True.
tweak your knee or shoulder or whatever,
And
be
it's
able to
those
size.
non-contact injuries that tend to be the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of deathmatch wrestling, I mean, really, you're mainly just getting cuts. You're not focusing too much on these, what they say, crazy high spots. You're focusing more on just like, using the gimmick of the match, which is whatever weapon that you're deciding to use that day, So
No,
you
I
got
mean
all
that
the matches, but
that's no, that's seriously an interesting point. I think that's something that most people probably wouldn't think of, like as far as the fans go, unless you're absolutely in it as a wrestler. You're right. You're absolutely right because there are so many less high spots. They just look more gruesome
yeah.
because of the weapons and the blood. Um, with deathmatch wrestling, though, I mean, like the rise of WWE ID is happening, though, and there's definitely like a stank that goes along with like a deathmatch name. Do you feel like that interferes at all with the possibility of WWE ID possibly IDing you or someone else in the deathmatch community?
Marcus Mathers is basically like in the deathmatch community. So yeah, he's done some wild stuff. He's definitely earned it what he's got right now. So I don't think they care too much. Yeah.
No, that's all. Do you think that we'll eventually maybe see that? Like, it's like I feel like WWE, AW. I mean, well, AW does lean towards deathmatch sometimes, but like WWE does keep its eye obviously out in the indies and what's going on in the wrestling world, especially now more than ever. Do you think like this will open a door possibly to see more deathmatch stuff possibly.
I mean, we already have on AEW. I don't know about WWE, but they're going on to Netflix to make everything a lot more crazier.
Mm,
So, I mean, supposedly to bring back the Attitude Era from like what people have been hearing in a sense. So, hey, we'll see what happens. I mean, during the Attitude Era, they've done a lot of crazy ass fucking stunts, man. All the shit with like Undertaker and Mick Foley. Like, I love doing everything. Like, I just do deathmatch about once a month just
yeah.
to get that out of me. It's fun to go out there, bleed, let people think I'm crazy, act as this crazy fucking wild man and all this cool shit. I mean, it's cool as fuck. You know what I mean? It's like I'm living in a movie or whatever. So it's fucking awesome.
No,
But
that's absolutely, man.
yeah, like on the regular, I do family shows. Like just last weekend, I was in Millersville, Pennsylvania for Three Legacy Wrestling, and straight up family show. Great crowd. I think we had like 500 people or something, and it
Oh,
was
that's
fucking
sick.
great. Yeah, it's Ricardo Rodriguez's show, so
Yeah.
he always draws great, man.
No, of course he's very very well
He's
respected
the
and
man.
doing a lot of good stuff in indie world. Um, Going from like talking about WWE guys, am I saying that? Wrestling, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, excuse me.
JCW, Juggler
J
Championship Wrestling. Yeah.
JCW, yeah. They're owned by Insane Clown Posse, right?
Yeah, so that is Violent J's baby. That's his pet project right there, basically. Right now. He's like really he's taking like so much of his time putting it into that right now. It's crazy. And it's such an honor of like what he's doing for wrestling, for the business right now, for all of us wrestlers right now that he picked up. I mean, dude, he just put us on like a 9-day tour in October where we're all like traveling a van every day, man. It's like, when you're on a tour with the guys 9 days straight, it's like y'all become like a family in a sense. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
for sure. It's like I'm an actor, so it's like a traveling theater tour. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you form a bond that's like unforgettable.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, they've been doing so much. I mean, I just got word of another tour coming up. I think it's like at the end of January, so that's gonna be really awesome. So I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of future things coming up. I mean, of course, the biggest thing we got coming up right now is November 30th. We got Thanksgiving, which is going to be awesome. That's like right outside of Detroit. I don't remember the venue's name, but it's JCW. You look up Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and you're going to find it. And that's going to be awesome. It's actually a free show, so that's going to be
Oh
really
wow.
cool. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Is like how much Violent J is really putting into this right now to put everything out there. I mean, just that 9-day tour, we were live every day on YouTube, and then on the 30th we were live on Thriller. So we were like 9 days straight doing live shows, wrestling every day for 9 days, which is just awesome, And yeah, he's doing so much awesome stuff for us, dude. I really got so much respect for him.
Yeah, I mean they huge passion for wrestling, obviously, and I love the fact that they started up a wrestling promotion here, in the indie world. So I asked for you. I mean, you just said you were just working with Ricardo Rodriguez, completely different style. Now with Insane Clown Posse here at JCW. Tell me, like how do you go from like one to the other? I mean, like the different styles, obviously different promoters. What's it like going from one promoter to the next year with these two?
Um, that's not really with the promoters. It's more of like who I'm wrestling against.
Mhm.
Um, so I've been doing wrestling forever now, like more than half my life. So, which is awesome. It's like I know so much in wrestling that I forget it all the time, and sometimes just feel like I know nothing or whatever. I don't know, but I like to see who my opponent is, see what they're good at. If I have time on the drive over there or something, maybe I'll like try to watch a little something of theirs, so I could at least get like one cool idea. And I have a bad problem with like just making shit up all the time, like
Yeah.
just making it up right there. Oh, hey, fuck it, I just made this up. Let's do this, or just by like seeing what they got, like on Saturday. Dude did a flipping neck breaker, which is, the guy's bent over, you like jump over, you grab his head, do like a flip. So I usually do it over the ropes. Anyway, I think I went for it over the ropes. He like hanged on to the ropes. I got back up. He went for it on me, and I was able to catch his head and catch him in the air up here out of
Oh.
the neck breaker, which I'm just like, yeah, this is so cool. Fucking thing, like,
You marked out for yourself mid move.
yeah, yeah. So like, like his style. Everybody's got their style. Like my style is so fucking all over the place right now. It's I don't even know what my style
So
is anymore.
you kind of switch it based on opponent, not necessarily promotion that you're at.
Yeah, yeah. It all depends on the opponent. I want to do what's going to make them look like $1 million, which is going to make me look like $1 million,
No,
basically.
makes sense. Makes sense, man. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Tarzan. We cross paths in BCW, man. Like so it's a pleasure to actually have you on the show right now to talk. One last question, man, before I let you go.
yeah.
As a wrestler, an active wrestler, you have a show just a couple days after Thanksgiving. Are you cheating, or you watching what you're eating?
Oh, dude. I mean, like right now, you kind of see I'm like a little extra like chubbier. I kind of lost my six pack on like the whole sport that I did with JCW. I don't even stand on a chair. So I'm like not the best right now. I'm trying to get the six pack back. But yeah, it's going to take some time. It's once you got it, it's easier to keep up with. But then when you're on a fucking bus for like 9 days and shit, it's hard to really get all that like walking in and every day. And you keep stopping at all these pit stations, getting like the shittiest fucking foods.
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, dude, yeah, there's that.
So
Um,
you're enjoying your Thanksgiving.
I'm going in on Thanksgiving, man. I'm gonna go
Let's
in. Hopefully
go.
there'll be food there on the 30th too. Hopefully we'll have some like Thanksgiving leftovers or something.
Hell yeah,
That'd be
man.
pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then no, fuck it. So if I say it, I have to do it. That's how I put it. If I put it out there, I gotta do it. So I did sober October, which did great for me. The main thing is I smoke weed. That's what got me pretty big with deathmatch wrestling or certain fans is that I'll smoke two or three blunts during a death match, which is cool. But anyway, so October I did sober October, made it 28 days, which is that's like basically the month of February. So I basically did the whole fucking month of October, if you think of it as February. But anyway, so
I
fuck
love the
February.
math. I love the math.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, and so I'm hitting this right. So November I was able to smoke again and all that. Now December 1st, I plan on not smoking and going, seeing how far I can get. If I could go from December 1st to the 31st, that'd be great. January, I could smoke again. And then, of course, February, that's only 28 days. So I can't smoke during February. I should be able to nail that one and so on. So it should be pretty sweet.
Love it, man. Well, Tarzan,
Yeah.
best of luck to you with that.
Oh, of course, just one more thing, man. JCW is also going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas on December 4th on a Wednesday. So it's always great to have a little bit of wrestling like during the middle of the week. And St. Louis, Missouri, December 5th on a Thursday. So that's gonna be really cool too.
Boom. Nailed it, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. JCW, can't wait to learn more about it. I'm new to it. Danny Moe turned me on to it. And here we are. That's how this happened.
Oh
But
yeah, dude.
hopefully have you back on again soon, talk more about your quest here. And for everyone else, I am Marc Chouen. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.